Today I'm making cottage pie. I am Grammy and welcome to my kitchen. Cottage pie, or hamburger pie as I called it when I was a kid, is one of my most favorite things to make for dinner and was my favorite thing to eat for dinner. You start off by making your mashed potatoes. For this recipe, you take 8 to 10 medium-sized potatoes and you cut them into quarters. I am using Yukon Gold potatoes, so I'm leaving the skins on. You can leave the skins on any potato. It just adds more nutrients to your mash. When you're done cutting your potatoes, add cups of water to your pot. Make sure that you count out how many cups of water you used, because you will be adding 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon to the potato water to cook and give flavor to your potatoes and eventually your mashed potatoes. Put your potatoes on high heat until the water boils and then turn the heat down to a simmer. You will need to cook your potatoes for approximately 30 minutes or until they're soft. Next, you will take a deep lidded frying pan where you will start to cook your hamburger. For my seasoning, I chose to use onion soup mix, which is an easy alternative to having to cut onions and put them into the meat for flavor. I also added some granulated garlic and some black pepper. Cook your hamburger until it is completely cooked. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Then stir your hamburger one more time and add a package of frozen mixed vegetables. Now you will add 2 cans of tomato soup. You can use the option of using 1 can of tomato soup and 1 can of tomato sauce if you like a little stronger tomato flavor. Stir thoroughly and put the lid on your pan and turn the heat down to simmer. Do not add any additional fluid to this mixture. It needs to be very thick to carry the mashed potatoes, so do not be tempted to add more fluid. By this time, your potatoes should be soft and ready to mash. Take your pot to the sink and drain off all the extra fluid off those potatoes. Then add about a half cup to 3/4 of a cup of half and half and an additional 6 tablespoons of butter. More butter is more better when it comes to delicious mashed potatoes. After I mash my potatoes for a little while, I add seasoning, which is seasoned salt to cover the potatoes on top, black pepper, and a little bit of garlic salt. I like to use my hand mixer because with peripheral neuropathy in both arms, it's hard to do all that mashing. Let the mixer do the job for you. It makes nice and fluffy mashed potatoes besides. To help smooth potatoes on top of my hamburger mixture, I add 2 beaten eggs to my potato mixture. I do that by whipping them, putting a spoon of potato in to temper the eggs so they don't immediately cook in those hot potatoes, and then add that potato egg mixture back in the mashed potatoes and completely and thoroughly mix with my hand mixer. Lastly, you dump your hamburger mixture into a 9x13 casserole dish and then gently spoon the mashed potatoes on top. You finish with sprinkling some grated cheese to cover the top completely, and then you place it into your 350-degree oven and bake it for 30 minutes. You will notice I actually made a double batch of hamburger pie so I can give one of these to a family member that needed a meal for this week. After 30 minutes, take your hamburger pie or your cottage pie out of the oven and let it cool slightly before serving. Of course, I have my favorite tester to test my cottage pie. Hey Papa, what do you think?
Hot. This is delicious. This is a 10 out of 10. Fantastic. I am so lucky to be married to such a great cook.